white sand, blue bay, hand in hand, slept there for days, light wind, gray haze.
Hi, how are you guys doing today? I'm Cinnamon Cooney. I'm your Art Sherpa. Welcome to the live event. And if you're here on replay, thank you for coming and going ahead and giving this painting a try. Today, together, we're going to paint this wonderful Aurora Borealis inspired by Arcadia National Park. Let's all take a deep breath. Ooh, the time of year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm feeling it. Are you feeling it, John?
Oh, I am.
Today, my co-captain, John Cooney, is with you. He's going to be directing the cameras so you can follow my craziness around and paint along easily.
Pushing buttons.
Pushing buttons. We're going to tell you everything you need to know to complete this painting. So even if it's your first time painting, you're going to have enough information to get a painting done that's going to be really exciting to you and a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to doing this with you guys. Everyone here who's live, how are you doing? Happy holidays. Are you surviving the stress? It's really quite extraordinary out here in Humble. There's Stunt Hands is adjusting the camera. Yay, Stunt Hands. It's been really intense on the roads, right? I mean, it is kind of the rest of the year, and people will be painting this painting all year. So wherever you are in your year, let it go. Release it. We're going to paint it out. We're going to get rid of it. We're going to talk about materials real quick. I'm going to put this painting up, show you again what you're going to be doing. Now, in the comments below, if you look down or you click down, there's going to be a link to the full painting. I highly recommend that you either print out the finished painting or have it up on a screen, because that'll really help you follow along and make things much more calm and much more relaxing. And that's going to be the theme of today, just calming it down.
Yeah.
Just relaxing it out. That's what we're going to be about today. I'm painting on a pre-gessoed 16 by 20 canvas from Michaels. Many of you ask me if you need another coat of gesso for your canvas. And the answer to this is, on these pre-manufactured canvases, especially the economic ones, the coatings are not really consistent from canvas to canvas. And if it's bothering you, I would say go ahead and hit it with another coat of gesso. But remember, gesso is absorbent. So that's something that will impact you too, but it can help your finish, and you might like that. Also today, let's cover our fun materials. We have a few special materials today. The toothbrush.
Ooh.
An old toothbrush that no one in your family is going to put in their mouth ever again. I mark mine with tape, so these people will stop taking it back to the bathroom to brush their teeth. I also have sponges. Now, I got a package of different kinds of sponges from Michaels for about $4. You could, this is going to be for a future painting, I really liked that sponge. These are just natural freeform shapy sponges. If you didn't have an ability to get one of those, you could take a Kindred sponge and kind of tear little bits out of it and make it an unusual freeform weird little shape. If you can get these for the convenience of not having to fitter with a sponge, I would say do it. But if you got to pull one apart, I've certainly done it before and it will work. The other thing that's going to help us today is fluid. See the golden fluid paint here? Now, here's the thing. Artist Loft now makes a fluid paint that's like $1. So the only thing to watch on that is that it's not chunky or gummy. So you don't have to spend the money for the golden. I'm using the golden today because it's very consistent and I can count on it. And I'm going to give you some more tips on how to get a successful spatter, because I think that's really been challenging everyone, and that's sort of the secret to the stars. The other kind of unusual materials, quinacridone magenta. But what if you couldn't get quinacridone? Well, any bright pink magenta would work, guys.
So you could substitute Passamaquoddy pink in there, and it'd be
You
fine.
could totally substitute Passamaquoddy pink. And then the other two colors that I'd like you to have is either some type of aqua, some type of turquoise. This is Liquitex Bright Aqua Green. But you know I also love me some Southern Ocean Blue. So there's a lot of options out there. And then, of course, our Dioxazine Purple, our Phthalo Blue, our Cad Yellow, our Black,
Which
right?
black is
Mars
that?
Black.
Mars Black.
But listen, on this kind of painting, If you happen to have carbon black, your painting isn't ruined. Don't worry about it. And I also like to use a transparent mixing white. Now, yes, there is a student grade transparent mixing white. Zinc white also works. And if you just have regular white, that will work too. And there is an exchange. If you find similar or approximate colors in craft paints, you guys are not in any way lost. I'm still celebrating because I feel like this is spacey.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I feel Batman ties into the Aurora Borealis today, but I did, so I'm wearing the Batman. Because the bat signal would be in a night sky, I guess is what the process was. How is everybody doing?
Oh, it's quite a lively crowd with us today. I'm surprised. We've got about 75 people out here hanging out with us on this, wonderful Christmas Eve.
Clinging to art for sanity, I imagine.
I'm just so happy that we have such a big family with us today.
It is a big art family.
That's a really blessing.
It's our calm, supportive family.
Yeah. So we have a lot of wishes coming in today. So
yeah, I would like to definitely, because it's the holidays, because we have a lot going on, I'd like to do some wishes. Wishes, if you're brand new, go ahead. If you're not into wishing, you can fast forward, but I highly recommend you try this experiment because it makes you feel so much better. A lot of artists, a lot of art journalists like to put words or wishes or intentions in a canvas, hopes, dreams. They can be serious, they can be silly, they can be like, I really hope this piece sells. It's all good. It's just the idea of just being a little bit optimistic and hopeful, which you have to be to paint a white canvas and think that you're going to get something out of it. Do you have a wish for us, John?
I have some wishes up for us today. And we have a couple quick wishes, and then we have a special wish that we're gonna do here. So, a lot of our community have been sending out light and love to all the people out there with crazy weather and crazy driving and crazy stuff happening, because it's this time of the season. There's a lot of risk in going out there due to weather or just crazy drivers, and there's been a lot of car accidents. So we wish a lot of light and love to all those who are out there traveling, that they have safe journeys and get to where they're going safe and warm.
So what I have written is light and love for the craziness, safety to travelers.
Yeah.
That's a wish that we have. I'm writing these in watercolor pencil. Don't do these in pencil or pen because it can bleed through your paint. You can do it in chalk, though. Kids' chalk will work, too. Or you can always write on the back here.
And
works, too.
We're gonna send out a couple of special. We've had some family losses in some of our community members.
Oh,
Bonnie M's, her brother's wife. Her brother passed away last night. So,
I'm so sorry, Bonnie.
Yeah, we'd like to send love to her family.
Bonnie.
And to her brother's wife and children.
Love and strength to your family, Bonnie. We're very sorry for your loss.
And to Sue Clark, who also had a loss in her extended family on the 21st.
Oh, Sue, I'm really sorry. To all of you tonight and into the future that run into this video, if you're experiencing loss, our heart is with you. Mm-hmm. And we just wish you strength and love. Because that's what it takes to get through. Strength and love.
And we're going to end with, we wish that all the little brushes out there get all the gifts that they ask for.
Yes, we wish all the little brushes.
And big brushes.
All the little and big brushes. All the gifts, spiritual and physical, they wish for.
Mm-hmm. And for all the mommies looking for little packages, new buns in the oven, new babies, we wish all that too.
We wish all that too.
So, love you guys. Thanks for all those wishes.
And I'm going to put a wish out there. I wish Heart Party keeps growing.
I do too. Gosh, I'm just so epically
and
grateful.
As it grows, I wish that it stays so loving and supportive.
Me too.
All right.
Okay.
Now, I could really scribble on my canvas today because we have to do kind of an underpainting in phthalo blue and dog sitting purple, which is why I hadn't put all the paint out. because I wanted to deal with this first to get this first coat on. This is a really important coat on your canvas.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get the space, you have to get a really rich, deep base started before you start sponging.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. That's one of the tricks to it. Space be deep.
I love your space paintings. And while you're doing that, there's some
I'm using a really big brush just because I want to enjoy just getting the paint on easily. This is a number 16 Pro Stroke by Power Curl Creative Mark. These brushes are crazy expensive, except a couple times a year, Jerry's Artorama puts them on clearance, and then they're like $5.
Oh.
And that's why I can have, I don't know, I think this brush is like $45 regularly. So definitely watch for those Jerry sales. I don't know how long they'll keep having these wonderful discount sales, but in 2015, coming on 2016, bonus sales. So I'm getting my brush a little bit wet to prime it and warm it up. And I'm just going to grab an even mix of Dioxazine and phthalo, which look probably exactly the same. This is the purple and this is the blue.
Yeah.
Notice that I don't just mix these together.
Oh, yeah.
I always am in the habit of working from the outside of my paint plops. And I do use water to thin my paint. Right now in acrylic, the thinking is that you should be using mediums or flow agents to thin your paint. But I have to tell you that while that's wonderful in a fine art practice, it's very expensive.
Yeah, it could be cost prohibitive.
It's cost prohibitive, and this paint is designed to be thinned up to 30% with water. All these companies have a lot written up on their websites. They all have websites with information, and they'll tell you what their extensive testing has shown their paint can withstand, and they're generally pretty right.
Yeah.
So just putting this nice, deep indigo up into the sky here.
While you're laying that in there, we've got a couple
fun.
of birthdays. I'm going to say.
Oh, do we have some birthdays? Yeah. I love birthdays.
Yeah, we have some birthdays. I saw. I'm going to scroll back up here as soon as you switch back over. There you go. Let's see here. I think Cleo, and I think there's one other up here that I missed. But
happy birthday, Cleo!
Happy birthday to everybody who's having a birthday. I think there was some.
Shout it back up if we miss it. Shout it back up because we love giving you birthday wishes.
Yeah, and we're gonna send some extra love out there to Jacqueline's. I think go back and check. I think it's her cousins. So she's
love to Jacqueline's cousins.
She needs a little bit of that out there.
I honestly think that there is tremendous power in wishing someone well.
We do. We kind of commit to it.
I think that has meaning in the universe.
Yeah.
I do.
And I think I saw that I think it was. Let's see here. I saw some good news come up here.
I love good news.
There you go. Push the button again. Stephanie Bergenson's
Bergeron. I'm probably saying her name wrong too. Yeah. I don't even know why I corrected you.
I think it was saying that it had some good news there of everyone feeling better.
Is
Mom?
Your mom is okay? I really hope
feeling
your mom
better,
is okay.
I think is what it was.
Good
news about my mom turning the corner for the better. Yes, that's what I saw.
Fantastic. I've really been thinking about you, Stephanie, and your family, and just hoping that she was okay, and I'm so glad to hear that. That's very, very good news.
Yeah. So, and I apologize for my butchering of the general name pronunciation.
Online monikers, yeah. Not that show. How to correctly pronounce people's names, not our YouTube show.
No.
I think I've just painted my hairdryer again.
I think it can survive.
I'd like to personally send out some congratulations.
Oh, yeah? Who to?
Well, to my mom and Lindsay, because they both had big milestones on their YouTube channels. Mm-hmm. And they give out so much, and they do so much for everybody, and I love that. And I don't know. I was just excited for them.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big, big deal. Oh, doesn't that look beautiful? Isn't that color just gorge?
I love it. I can't wait to hang it on my wall.
You like these. So this was sort of inspired by some photography done. There's a bunch of space photographers that go to Arcadia National Park. Mm-hmm. And they take these pictures, and they must do it with, you would know this because you're so into telescopes and things. They really do a lot of filters and UV filters and things on their telescopes when they take the pictures. So suddenly this color, this amazing sky appears.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was very excited about, I'm going to put some more Dioxazine back out and some more phthalo blue. And the rest of my palette. They were very, they do some really beautiful stuff. And then I got really excited about the fact that Dioxazine here, phthalo over here. Sometimes if you can't see the difference, one, don't think you're weird. It takes a while for your eyes to learn to see the difference. You might not know that. Little yellow. And because I'm sponging, I'm going to space things out just a titch. You don't really need that much of this yet.
Oh, yeah?
So I'll wait to put it out. Because that's really for the Aurora. You know, we only have about less than a year left to see the Aurora Borealis.
Oh, yeah. Before it tilts.
Yeah, so I thought this painting was a good time to do it so that we could have it, in our lives.
Yeah, it's something that I'd really like to see someday.
Me too. And I don't think we're going to pull it off for this run. Mona's getting to see it, aren't you, Mona?
Yeah, she's up high enough. She said that she had missed it the other day, but hopefully he's going to get out and see him next flare.
I'm going to hair dry, and John's going to talk to y'all about space.
I'm going to talk to you about space, I guess. That's really strange. So, what I'd say is that thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us. We've got today's broadcast of Worst Live. We're going to do another one New Year's Eve. And I think that Cinnamon is recording something here this week to drop a little bit later, the next day or two. I'm not exactly sure. We'll have to get her info on that. But, if you guys could come and hang out New Year's Eve, we're going to do some live stuff then. I think that we're going to be doing a dragon and probably going to glitter it. And hopefully we'll do some other shenanigan fun stuff while that's going on. So, I think that's about all I have left that I could possibly talk about. So hopefully she'll come and bail me out and be done any minute now or any second now, because I could just make up stuff to talk about, but that would be incredibly boring for both you and me. So this is just me trying to fill the air with, oh my gosh, she's back. Thank you so much.
A little bit left out there alone, babe.
I was like, at the end, I could just keep talking to talk, but I don't know what I would say.
So here's a little trick. Sometimes when you're a new painter, it's hard to know without things laid out in, like how far you should take a technique or effect or a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know this under the lower thirds portion of my canvas is going to have these trees, and I'm going to want them to be solid from about here, and then they break up above this.
Mm-hmm.
So normally I wouldn't give myself this. I'm going to give myself a little light chalk mark that's going to evaporate into the paint. I don't want too much of it there because it can gray out my black. Just enough to go, I have to take my space effect at least to here. I'm going to get my my sponge, sponge, whatever this thing is, damp in its own little bowl of water. I've got these little towels if I need to drag out some excess water. Because if I have too much water, it will bubble.
Oh.
And not give me an effect that I really like. And I'm going to just get right into my phthalo blue and my white. Maybe I'll tip with a little bit of purple and then back into the white. And I'm going to start my sponging. This is, and I bet John can already guess, what is this painting technique all about?
Layers?
Layers! I'm a bit like Dorsey, and everything is Akhenaten. You remember him?
I do.
Yeah, there's going to be just constant talking forever and ever and ever on our channel about layers. When you guys ask me how to do paintings, and I never ever mind that, sometimes the answer is a little more complicated than you might think because it's about understanding how to layer the piece.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to pounce over here. If you can find a space picture that you love, that can also be helpful.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll go and get some just blue and come back and pounce some of that just blue in. And you'll find that there'll be little pockets of color. This is about rolling with it.
Yeah.
You roll with it. You go, okay, I understand that this is what I've got going on here. And I've got to work with this because these are like clouds and they're shaded a little bit like clouds. And so we got to break up shapes. We don't want to clone. Those of you that paint a lot with my mom know not to clone your trees. I might even pick up some of this over here. No need to waste good paint. And I'm just pouncing my canvas. Pounce on it like a little kitten. That's what we're doing. Isn't that not stressful? Pounce on it like a little kitten. Kittens are not stressful.
So Jane was saying that doing the pears was a bit more challenging than she thought.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you going for the challenge and taking it on because that will be the thing that you're so glad that you did later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grabbed a little purple there, pouncing it here. And I might go ahead and get a little more white on here and lighten up some more little bits of sky that are coming up. And
wow, and I have to say thank you. We got like 95 people out here with us today.
I love that 95 of you went. You know, it's crazy out there.
It's painting day.
It's painting day. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint.
Are you sipping?
I am sipping.
What are you sipping?
I am sipping water.
Water.
Yeah, not that exciting.
The bihydrogen
I put it in an
oxide.
exciting cup, though.
It is an exciting cup.
I put it in a very I'm going to put a little bit of lightness up here.
You're hydrating.
I'm hydrating. So I think it's fun, this type of photography. And if you know it starts to just go away on you, you just get right in there. And this is really fun for kids, but it's also sort of fun to find the kid in your grown-up. Does that make sense, John?
Mm-hmm.
Just to get the kid back in your grown-up. You can't really do it wrong. You know, I know you guys will write me and be like, I did it wrong.
There's no wrong.
Can't. It's just, this is one of those wonderful things that you're just doing because it makes you happy. You can get your sponge a little bit wet. You're going to get a little dirty on your hands.
With the sponges?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rubbing alcohol takes
doing
off
over
acrylic paint. So if you're like, it's all over me, acrylic paint, you're fine. Off your floor, out of your clothes, takes it off. I grab a little more of this and a little more of this and just be pouncing around.
Bounce.
This is, I'm so glad to be doing this painting when we are because it is, this is so relaxing. You want to just completely unplug, do this on a wall.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be like, I feel better.
I can imagine.
So much better than where it was, and I feel so much better. And again, if you notice that you're getting bubbles, you just have too much water on your sponge.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I do. So just get it into your towel and squeeze it out.
Oh, that's cool.
And then pounce out the bubbles. Don't worry, your canvas is not turned on you. Sometimes it's nice to also turn your hand with the sponge.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you get the shape changing?
It will help break up those shapes.
Oh,
And that's
yeah.
what you're doing is you're trying to break up shapes. And this is a great place to work on that skill. You know, space is one of those fun things to practice again and again and again because it will help you with clouds.
Mm-hmm.
Right? See, as I'm going along and be like, I'm just thinking about a little cloud here. And that's helping me. Turning my little sponge around to make sure I'm breaking up this shape. How nice is that?
Yep.
Just good stuff. Good little space. beautiful galaxies far, far away. All our little problems on this planet don't even stress out the universe. The universe makes stars.
Well, we are made of stardust.
We are made of stardust. And it relaxes us. Just look up in the night sky. You're part of something so big that it is infinite. We just watched Martian last night.
We did.
Oh, that was so good. If you haven't watched Martian, so worth watching.
Yeah, it
was a get up out of your chair and cheer movie, wasn't it?
It really was. I mean, it was sort of a, a very happy ending journey in space.
Yeah, it was a pretty happy ending for what was actually going on.
It's like, yeah. I mean, there's when things go wrong in space, they generally go epically wrong.
Because it's space.
Because it's space. But this was really awesome movie.
It was. And I was saying to John last night that this is why human beings are wonderful. And if we spent more time being like this and less time hurting each other, we would be the most amazing, miraculous, beautiful thing in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
I know that sounds goofy, but it's true. If we spent as much time figuring out how to move each other and inspire each other and solve our problems as how to just hurt each other as a solution, the power of us would be extraordinary.
Yeah.
I feel like for sure the universe would take notice.
Yes.
So this is fun to do, and I can get just really lost in this all day. I'm going to come over and get some purple and really load my sponge with some purple this time.
Yeah.
I like to do that. I'm going to get some white, lighten that purple. And then I'm going to think about maybe adding some of that tone value to what's happening. And you can see how it does require a sponge to be kind of an uneven shape, which is why if you're doing a kitchen sponge at home, you really, really want to make it be a weird shape. But I have done this with kitchen sponges, so I know for sure it's possible. I like that little bit of purple tone here. These little tones are worth it when you're working your sky. These little bits of effect make a huge difference in what you're doing. I think is it an arm of the Milky Way you can see from Arcadia?
You should be able to see most of the, we're in the Milky Way. So.
No, but I mean, I feel like they've got a strath of it.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
They may have a particular view on the, the western arm or something.
Yeah. There's a series of photographs that the space guys like to take where it shows some pretty neat stuff. I was fairly inspired by that. I'm inspired by the Aurora Borealis, a good friend of mine. She loves it. Mm-hmm. She's always posting things. See, isn't that lovely?
That really is.
It just comes in and comes in. Now I'm going to get some quinacridone on here. And then some more white.
Mm-hmm.
Fun to do, fun to do. I'm going to think about where that could be maybe living. The other thing, don't underestimate dabbing lightly and dabbing hard.
Mm-hmm.
Because they will give you different effects. Play with that. Take this time to just be like, whatever else is happening today, whatever else is happening in my life, this is simple. This is just color on canvas and color that I like.
Happy little stars.
Happy little stars. The stars are all happy. For sure, all stars are happy because they just are what they are. They don't try to be something else. They just are who they are. And they just shine. And they don't worry about upsetting the star next to them because they're shining. They know that all of them shining together lights up the night sky. Stars have wisdom. John is like, oh no, she's going on her star speech again.
No, I think it's great. I do.
Just love
I like all the layers there.
add a little bit. It's wonderful to add it. Just to tell it. Just to tell it. Find places to tell it. If you need to get some more of it to tell it, get some more. You can tell it wherever you need to. And see, these things will peek out behind your trees. It creates layers and effects that you will love. Fun stuff. Little ghosts. Little stories far, far away. Maybe up over here. Some person just like you is painting. Looking back at your planet over in your arm. You don't know. You don't know.
All the little layers of clouds, star clouds.
Star clouds, I like that. See, so we're getting that there.
They're clouds of cosmic dust illuminated by inner starlight.
Clouds of comic dust. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that beautiful? And yes, your hands will be dirty. But they clean.
They do.
They clean. You don't have to worry about that. I'm going to get some white. Might let a little blue be on it, but mostly I want it to be kind of white. Some white. Maybe I'll get a scotch. A smidge of the yellow. Just a smidge, though.
Just a smidge.
Just a
I
smidge.
don't even know what a smidge is, but just one of those. Not two smidges.
Not two, just a little bit. Dab your palette paper. This is Strathmore acrylic palette paper. Dab your palette paper. And then just tell the story. Maybe there's something happening here that's a little bit lighter. And you can turn your sponge around and blend it in. See, acrylics actually blend quite nicely.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the idea that they don't is not really true. Like, we love how watercolors, you know, give us that nice watercolor blend, but acrylics give us a lovely blend too.
Mm-hmm.
And you've just got to find it and work it. Just be like, oh, this is okay.
So Carrie was just asking if we had seen the first of the bingo game that she was working on.
No.
No, I was just we'll have to get her and Ian and everybody in, so we can
Sherpa bingo.
Sherpa bingo. Yeah, she had. I think she had suggested that the other day.
Yeah.
So
there we go. We have a little bit happening here, and anywhere you feel like you want just a little highlight, you know, and then just pounce it in. Just pounce it in. Pounce on it. Go kitten.
Oh yeah, and congratulations, we have 100 people here with us today.
We have 100
We
people
broke
with us
100
today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming today.
It's always nice to know that we've got over 100 people hanging out with us.
It's just incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! Isn't that beautiful?
I like
It's
it.
really pretty.
You should just you should walk around the stars with the close-up camera.
All right. Well, you want to see the clouds first?
Yeah, walk around there. Show us.
I'm gonna get the nausea cam going. There it is. So there we go. Can we see the stars? Can we see all the color? I'm not really sure if the color is translating on that.
It's full of stars.
It's gonna be in just about 20 seconds. So here's the deal, guys. I'm gonna put up. I keep telling you, when you want to do splatter, have practice paper.
Oh, yeah, that's what that was for.
That's what that was for. Construction paper works. Any colored paper will work. Here's a tip. Golden fluid paint. Fluid paint. Not soft-bodied, fluid paints, right? And then take a sippy and a deep breath.
And cover all your cameras.
You do want clean water. So you're going to want to use some clean water. Get your brush wet in some clean water.
All I see is the top of your hat, which is very cute, by the way.
Clean water. Top of my hat. And then you're going to just take your brush and go like this.
Could you push that forward a little bit on the canvas?
Yeah.
Hey, oh, yeah, thanks.
All right, so I'm going like this in my fluid paint. Right? Again, my hands are going to get dirty. I've got my practice paper. And I'm going to see how my brush is unloading. Now, you can literally do a test splatter, go, it's good, and then splatter on your canvas. Test splatter, oh, it's good. Because what will happen is sometimes, you guys, if you have too much loaded, you can get that, right?
Yep.
Maybe you're too close, and you're getting that effect. Though, I want you to think about this for a second if you're trying to do a comet.
Yep. And there's also dense patches of stars.
There are dense patches of stars, and so experiment, like if I flick like this or I flick like this. If I flick like this, if I flick like this. If I flick like this. I'm not stressed about what's happening here.
Get your flick technique down.
Because I can get it down before I take the piece that I've just been pouncing. You know, pouncing, pouncing, pouncing. And that's what I mean by practice. Practice, practice, practice. All right. Let's give our sky some stars. I love giving my sky stars.
Boom.
Huh?
Said boom. It's got stars.
Yeah. And I do like to have big blobs and small blobs.
Yes.
And patches that are...
It looks awesome.
Doesn't that look amazing? Now let's take a walk around the stars.
Ah.
Now let's definitely walk around the stars. And I just want you to see what my splatters look like. Because sometimes you see my canvas from far away. And when you stand back 5 or 6 feet, everything looks good.
That's really awesome.
Isn't that wonderful? Just a beautiful starry sky. I'm going to sippy. Want everyone to take a deep breath. Whatever's been weighing on you lately, just let it go. We're just going to put it into this canvas. We're just going to paint it out. Let you think, this woman with the yellow chicken feathers, what could be weighing on her?
Yeah.
I got 3 kids. You know, we all have stuff. We all have traffic. We all have things happening in our lives. And sometimes you just have to put it all down. Put it all down.
So I've noticed, and Kim noticed, that you have a couple techniques for making star splatters.
I do.
So what do you prefer, the toothbrush or the TOOTHBRUSH?
Okay. So if I'm thinning down thick paints, I definitely prefer the thick brush. If I'm doing the tops of waves, I don't even get into my toothbrush at all unless it's on a teeny tiny canvas. If I'm doing stars, sometimes I prefer the toothbrush.
And sometimes you'll use that toothbrush for like spray in that little edgy spray crest in water.
Yeah, where I need a finer mist toothbrush, where I need round, perfect little spots, I'll use the brush. And I'm pretty good at deploying my paint.
Yeah.
This has got to dry for a second. I can show you all
You just set
the
that
brush
aside.
deployment.
Yeah, you
For
polish.
just 2 seconds, because it doesn't hurt me, and we still have some canvas that could show it. And you'll see the difference in the splatter. So the 2-brush technique is
Show
to
us what
grab
brushes you got there.
2 brushes. So you can see this has painted many paintings. This is a natural hair bristle round. He's about a 22, I think, from this company. And then I have just another kind of heavy brush. I'm going to get this brush a little bit wet, dab it off.
And this could be for snow, stars, rain,
Yeah.
any dabadeed,
Yep.
sprayed.
And I whack. See the difference in the splatter? You see that?
Yeah.
Are you on the close-up cam? Go close-up cam. See the difference?
Yep.
So you can see where it definitely gives you a type of splatter. It reminds me of snow. It reminds me of the crest of a wave. If I need to say, oh, this wave is cresting right here.
Oh, would you? Yep.
That's what it is. I don't know if that's helpful.
I think that is helpful.
But, other thing you can see, this will be a little waterier,
Oh, yeah.
right? So, there's a lot of ways. I'll tell you what I really am not loving. So these things. I'm going to put out some more of the fluid so you can see the difference while we're here, if nobody minds.
I don't think anybody minds.
I've got some fluid paint on here.
There's 100 people that showed up to paint with you today.
If you were to say, see this online and go, that would be great. You close-up camera, imagine. This is the type of splatter I'm going to...
Are you supposed to bang that against the
There's
other
two
brush?
ways to deploy. There's this. And that's the splatter you get from this splatter brush.
So it's similar, but tighter, bigger. It looks like it even squirts out bigger.
Yeah.
So
now you know more about splatter than most artists.
We've done. We've done a little
That brush
splatter
is
guide.
also very nice for pouring mediums and string mediums if you're trying to create a Jackson Pollock effect, which we will be doing. We'll be learning all about that.
Who is Jackson Pollock?
Who is Jackson Pollock? Controversies. Who Jackson Pollock is.
Interesting.
Controversy with a bottle of Jack.
So how are we doing, do you think?
I am doing brilliant, and I'm ready to start thinking about... Oh, I got to dry this.
Yeah, dry it?
Yep.
Okay, I'll...
Just to make sure for the Aurora.
Real quick.
Okay, ready?
Yep, you go. And she's drying it off real fast. Just to make sure. And she doesn't use heat. She just uses air over that. It doesn't require the extra heat to dry. It's just about airflow, apparently. So low or no heat and just airflow is the best way of doing that. Sometimes if you put too much heat on those, it can actually cause the paint to crack, which is what I think she's actually checking for there, is to make sure that she's not causing this to dry too fast and crack.
All right.
So you don't use heat there, do you? You just use air?
I just use air. Acrylic paint is highly temperature sensitive. Golden and Liquitex and Matisse are designed to be more resistant to that temperature change than, say, craft paint. If you're painting with a craft paint, that can really accelerate your color shift, which is where it's one color when it's wet and then gets much darker when it's dry. But someone wrote me and they were like, hey, I love my craft paint. I've been painting with it for 5 years. If you've been painting with a product for 5 years, you probably already made adjustments in your art practice for the fact that it's going to dry darker, or maybe these colors mix in an unexpected way than you might think. So there's just nothing wrong with it. It's just knowing, well, okay, so the benefit to craft paints and, you know, things like Americana or folk art or deco or, you know, any of those paints is that they're really easy on your wallet. Easy on your wallet is a good thing, right? But they have color shift and color mixing issues, and they can dry a little matte, and they have those kinds of things, and they're not archival.
Yeah, but
that's all it is.
When you're needing to turn out some artwork, that's okay.
That's okay. So for the Aurora Borealis, I'm going to take this aqua.
Which one? Show me.
This aqua.
That aqua. What aqua is it? It's aqua something. I can't read it.
Bright aqua green, heavy body acrylic by Liquitex Professional Paint. All right, there it is.
Little dab of it.
Right, little dab of it. You've got some yellow out if you want it. This is your Aurora. I'm going to get the transparent mixing white because I kind of well, I guess it's probably okay. Because it can be contaminated in this particular case. It's going to be an Aurora.
Yeah.
I'm going to put out a little blue here. You could add a little yellow into it. You could add a little quin. I put out more paint than you guys need in a painting because I'm pointing out what you can see. If I was like putting out miserly little dabs, it might be like, wow.
But we want you guys to see what color we're playing with, so we, you know.
Yeah, we don't get crazy with it. Yeah. So I add just a little mixing white to my aqua. And I'm going to come here up at the upper part. I'm going to make sure we can really see it. Yeah, okay.
You zoomed.
Yeah, I zoomed.
Well, you're just a little off the camera, so it's okay.
And this is like a ribbon because the Aurora Borealis is like a ribbon. So I'm going to come down, and then I'm going to make a little turn. And then it's going to end there.
Ah.
And it's going to have a little friend who maybe starts off canvas here. And also does a little turn. And ends there as well. This little ribbon just lets me know where I'm starting. Right? That just lets me know when I'm starting. I'm going to get a little of my aqua and a little of my phthalo and a little of my white. They're sort of loaded on the brush like this. Let's see. See how it's loaded?
Yep.
Yep. And I'm very lightly going to just brush up in as straight of a line as I can handle. Light pressure. And I let the transparency of the paint really helps me here. Right? This is what I'm doing. I'm taking it. I'm just telling this little story.
So, Bonnie was asking, can she,
There we go.
could she take a little phthalo blue with some white and a tad of yellow to get that shade?
Yes, she could.
Well, there you go, Bonnie. From the Sherpa's mouth.
Yes, you could. You can, yeah, definitely phthalo blue, little yellow, and white, and you're going to get all kinds of turquoises. And that's what you're trying to get is this turquoise. As I'm doing my Aurora, I'm taking my little, it sort of fades out. I'm going to make it a little stronger up here. All right, see how that goes? The transparency of the paint is helping me. All of these colors are slightly transparent. That definitely works in my favor. And what you're just trying to do is do this upward stroke. It's a little challenging, but you can get it. The other thing I'm doing is not too much pattern. I break it up. Some of these little things go up a little higher than others. And I'm just tapering down. Just tapering down. Every once in a while, flip the brush on its edge, pull one of these up high. And then this disappears. Right? So there they are. Two little ribbons in the sky. And obviously I put out way more paint than I needed.
Yeah.
And that's what we mean. Way more paint than is needed.
But at least you can see what's going on.
Though the black probably I'm going to need quite a lot of. So here is the trick. I have a nice 1/2 inch sharp bright.
Yep.
Right. This is by Creative Mark Pro Stroke and Power Krill Pro Stroke. It's a number. They're 4. It's a number 4 on this line. But you can see the size, and that's what you're looking for. There's some great Simply Simmons versions of this. And I've got my little line here. And here's what I know. And I'm going to move my little camera over just a titch to where it's going to be. So you have the up close as I'm doing this. So I'm going to take on my edge over here towards the left a nice straight upwards line. And I'm going to take it up to about, there's about 4 fingers where that stops. All right. And then next to it, about 3 fingers over, I'm going to make another little tree. This one is going to have like a little shorter line. And then on a few fingers over, another little short tree. This one's going to be quite short. And maybe a little closer, slightly taller friend. This is one way to prevent getting too repetitive with your trees.
What's that?
where you start playing in the lines. That way you can look, is this one a different height than this one and this one? You want some different distances, right? Maybe a short one there. A little slightly taller, but still short. Way over here to the right. Right? Way over here to the right. Give yourself another fairly tall tree. Close to him, maybe a slightly shorter tree. A little further off, maybe a tree a little taller than that. We are going to vary up these trees. It's important. And that is my forest line that I'm going to start working from. Now I'm going to load up my brush. And it's going to be, I'm going to actually, here, I'll wipe this off so you can really see the load. I'll rinse it and wipe it. I'm going to load up my brush. See the load?
Oh, very good, yeah.
Right, there it is. And I'm going to come to the top of this tree. And I'm going to make these little dabs. And then he's going to have 2 little dabs up. Short little dabs. We're pouncing again, really, but we're just pouncing with the edge of our brush. I'm on the edge of my brush. And I'm thinking about these little branches coming out being different from each other. Right? These little spruces. Reload as you need. Some branches are shorter, some are longer. It's okay if sky is showing through. It needs to show through. It is okay. See the dabbing? How we get that pine in? Can we really see that? Do I need to zoom in, John?
I think that's good there.
Okay. We really want to just see how that's going in. You know? Dabbing that little pine. Just pouncing it out here. Pounce. Pounce that out. Maybe he's getting a little bushier down here. My brush pressure is getting harder as he gets bushier. See?
Yeah.
And it's okay that little spots of sky are peeking through these pine needles.
Yeah.
Even awesome,
It
that
really
little
is,
spots
yeah.
of sky. And you will have taken your sky much further down than you need. But the wonderful thing about having done this is that if you have little spots of sky showing out.
As you do.
As you do. Like you do.
Like you do.
Like you do. It feels as if you are camping. You've gotten away from the city. You've gotten away from the things in your life that are causing you any aggravation. And you've gone to these beautiful, perfect woods. The woods in your mind.
What about fan brushes?
What about fan brushes?
This seems like a fan brush type.
It does, doesn't it? And yet, I don't... You can get a pine effect. There's a bunch of YouTube tutorials, and we're going to cover this in the pairs.
Yeah.
The way a fan brush gives us a pine tree.
Huh.
We're going to definitely cover it.
But not today.
But not today.
Today's not a fan brush. But if you wanted to play with a fan brush...
This is an okay place to do it.
Yeah.
And if you're very familiar with the fan brush technique, right, that you can get, then it would be an okay place to think about that.
Or you could even explore your fan brushiness.
Yes, you could. But this is how I actually like to get this type of silhouette pine.
I like these little pines. I think I like the way these look.
I like that the branches are upward.
They're like astronomer pines.
Astronomer pines.
And so it's really nice. I have
I'm
to say,
dabbing around here, creating sort of a forest line.
we've
See
got.
how that happens?
Yeah, I do.
And now it's going to be all black below here. Once I get my line in, then I can paint everything below this forest line black.
Wow.
But it's very important to get this part of the story well told. Get these passages beautifully executed. Then the rest of this is, I got splatter over on my other painting. It really just goes everywhere.
It does.
It's a messy thing, guys. Don't do this on your good granite.
Yeah.
I mean, you can clean it off, but just don't do it.
And I want to take a chance to hear, and I'd like to say thank you to everyone. We've got like 120 people out here with us today, hanging out on this Christmas Eve. And I want to just say how thankful I am to all of you guys coming out here. And, I appreciate if you take a time to click that subscribe and like, comment buttons. It really does help YouTube know that you guys are out here and enjoying what you're seeing us do. And, that it makes a big difference for us. So.
Yeah, it really does. The shares do too. I love you guys. I have been seeing the shares on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and Pinterest. And I'm all those places. Big time, big time, big time. And it makes a real difference because I'll tell you what, you guys see shares. Maybe they don't necessarily get as many likes or whatever. But then I'll hear from somebody who said, my friend shared this on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I saw somebody's post, like, how Facebook does that friend of a friend of a friend thing.
Yeah.
It's a really weird unconnected person who somehow saw your post because of the privacy settings. And then it'll be like, this is exactly what I needed. I was going through this crazy time and I saw this and I just decided to give it a go, just a whirl. And I really appreciate it. So all of those shares really help.
Yeah.
Get that word out.
Yeah. We really like,
Just making sure I'm on all the pines I
there
need
you
to
go.
be on.
There
we
it
go.
is.
Little short pine. Little buddy. This little buddy stands very close to his friend. They're good. They're close.
Buddy pines.
They're buddy pines. All the pines are buddies, and they talk to each other in the wind. And their roots all touch. They're family.
So we have an ocean breeze from Russia painting with us.
Hello, ocean breeze from Russia.
I think that's funny.
I love that.
That's awesome.
They have some beautiful, beautiful landscape.
Mm-hmm.
Just gorgeous.
In some parts of Russia, you can just walk out and look up and see this.
Yeah. Exactly this.
Yeah, like,
without a filter.
Because there's like big areas where there isn't light pollution and really awesome, beautiful trees and sky.
Yeah. One of our favorite programs ever was The Long Way Home.
Yeah. It was Long Way Around?
Long Way Round. Yeah. If you haven't seen that documentary, you should watch it. If you like motorcycles and the world and sort of believe in the brotherhood of man and all that.
Or the actor, what's his name?
Who was in The Martian? He was the same guy. Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor was the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They just got on their motorcycles and drove around the world.
They drove. Which was like, that's back when I was driving my Ural. I was very inspired to like drive motorcycles anywhere.
And just made me want to visit more. See more of... I'm going to just take some dabs up there. See, sometimes I just dab up loosely and I don't connect every dab.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's kind of like, oh, you're watching me dab in these trees. But when you see me work it out, when you see me break up, no clones, no genetically modified pines here. These are pines that nature gives you, and they are uneven and unruly.
They're nature's pine.
Nature's pine does not behave. It is what it is, and it doesn't apologize for it. It doesn't grow its needles all the same direction all the time. And it doesn't make every branch a perfect little representation of the branch before it. And because of its imperfection, it is more beautiful. To the degree as artists that we can embrace that and try to mimic that, we are successful in our storytelling. I'm really liking this, John.
I like it too.
It's one of those paintings. Now, if you're following along live today and you like this, we have another live coming up. We're getting caught up on some projects, some collaboration projects that we actually missed the deadline on.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Saturday. That's what we'll be doing. So we won't be live Saturday, even though we'll be making a video.
Mm-hmm.
But Tuesday we'll be live again. And you can go to the upcoming live events on my Landing YouTube page and schedule a reminder.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't want to miss it. It's a really beautiful painting. And once you've already gotten the sponge, you might as well come back and do it.
Yeah.
It's a good painting for peacefulness.
You're just wiping your brush off there?
Every once in a while, the paint can start to work its way, let me see if I can, into the ferrule of your brush.
Yeah.
And you can rinse it out and stuff, but I also sometimes will wipe it. You'll see a lot of artists will just wipe it. They're just like, enough. Because we're trying to actually not get that much water on our brush.
Yeah.
Now, see, this little tree has peeked up over where you did your Aurora, and that's why it's nice to do the Aurora before the trees, because the inclination will to not put our Aurora work where the trees are.
Yeah.
And therefore not have as layered of a painting. Even though this is a silhouette painting, we can still follow some amazing rules of landscape. And we can still treat it like a landscape. Are we talking about, silhouettes when they are like landscapes? Making them just a little bit more. So they feel very successful to us.
So there's a thread going on here for a while now.
Oh, I'd love to hear the thread.
What would you think about a Sherpa cruise? So it'd be a Pacific.
Yeah.
It'd be a Pacific
I would
cruise.
love actually anywhere. I'll go Greece. I'll go on the fjords. I will go the inside passage. I will listen. If you got a cruise ship and you're thinking, I need that Sherpa chick, I'm up for it.
I might even show up to push buttons.
He might even show up to push buttons. I don't know who will get to watch the kids. Grandparents. That's what they're for. Go see your family.
Mm-hmm.
Connect with your roots. Because we got to go cruise.
That's right. We got cruise. But we're probably going to do something early next year.
I'm really hoping.
Yeah,
We're looking into... See, I'm right by Galveston, which has got an actual port.
Yeah.
Though I don't know how much longer it's going to have the cruise ships. I think they're closing the port or something.
Huh, I wonder. But, that's not to say that we're going to have something a little more locally venued.
Yeah.
Something. A little Sherpa Inn of some kind.
Sherpa Inn, something local. Start to get a sense of what that'll be like.
Yeah. Try a little one, then see how they get bigger and bigger. Maybe come summer, we'll be ready for a cruise.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'd love to do an inside passage to Alaska again.
Yeah.
I love my Alaskan cruise on the Norwegian cruise lines. Not a sponsor video, but it could be Norwegian. It could be.
Although I have to say, it'd be really fun to...
Or Conti Nast. Come on, guys. Don't you think we should take this on the road to many of your destination locations?
I think that going from
They sent Superwoman.
Yeah.
They did. Why can't me?
We'll paint it.
We'll paint it.
No, but seriously, I think that we should...
Seriously, Conti, seriously.
We should look at doing like a cruise from the States to Europe. Or from Europe to the States.
I would. I would so absolutely. We'll just paint the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then
you can paint on a cruise ship. My mom has proved it. Because she paints on it. She paints everywhere she is. She'll just make a mess with paint wherever she goes. She doesn't. She's like, I clean it up.
And generally they do.
And they do. And they do. The boat can be like this, and she's like, no, 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 no.
That's the part about being on a boat I'm not so sure about.
It's really rare, actually. It's not that bad. Not that bad. And they have medicine for it. It's totally okay. And guess what?
What?
Whatever you want them to make you, they'll make you. You could actually eat.
Interesting.
Because, like, whatever, if you find something you can eat and you're like, I need more of that, it'll just show up at your room. Uh-huh. I'm just telling the story of the tallest pine. This is the oldest pine currently in this section of the forest. And he talks to the other pines and gives them sage advice about growing. And about the Great Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tells them the stories of the woods. Probably we're going to find out later that these things all actually do talk to each other through the root system, and I wasn't even that wrong. Because I think we can all hear trees talking to each other. When we get out there and we get away from our jaded, connected, wired in, tapped in, wireless lives.
Yeah, go watch the TED from Paul Stamets.
Right?
Yeah, that's one that'll mess you up.
That this is a lot more like Pandora than we think.
Yeah.
I'm going to come over and tell this little tree. He's really close. They're friends together. Hopefully you're seeing how fun this is a way to do pines. Some of you guys have asked about, like, I really am trying to get my pines in, and these are giving me grief. Mm-hmm. And I think what can happen with a fan brush sometimes is because it seems like it should be able to do a pine. You try to do a pine with it, but it's so technique driven. And unless you have that, it's like Donna Dewberry, one stroke. Once you have the one stroke down, it's super easy. But if you just have the idea of the one stroke, but not the technique, then it's very challenging. All right. So I feel like I have created a line that I can paint in black now. Did you know that? Interesting. And I'm going to find a nice bright... Oh, I like this one. I am really loving these Simply Simmons. This is a Simply Simmons number 10 bright.
Yeah.
I think I stole this from my mother when she came and visited. She was asking, do you have my brush? And I was like, I haven't seen your brush.
I don't know brush.
And I wasn't even messing with her. I hadn't seen it yet. Okay. Just come along. Don't paint out the little nibbly bits. These little open pockets. You need them. You need this uneven edge. You worked hard to get it. Don't paint it out. And then all the rest is black. Are you freaking out on how cool this is? I'm freaking out on how cool this is. How totally doable. How completely achievable. You know, and once you do this, you can go do like everybody's Aurora Borealis. When I designed this, I was actually talking with Maricha, the Junk and Data girl, and I was like, I'm going to do this. And we all get together on Skype and then paint and goof around. John can tell you it's a whole thing. I started looking around to see, you know, what else is out there. Because I want to make sure that I'm going to tell a different story than what someone else is going to tell. Mm-hmm. And contribute something different to the art conversation. And I have to say there's a lot of really wonderful Aurora Borealis conversation out there. Yeah. One new place I really noticed I really liked her paintings was Pandemonium Gallery. It's a YouTube channel. It's Jane Font. What?
So our community is wishing that our make-believe Sherpa cruise gets stranded on a desert island, so we would be trapped there to do more painting together.
Well, we could just go to the island, but have, like, you know,
we could not be trapped
with
there.
sippy sippies, and we could just stay there and paint, and then get more paint. No trap needed. Us guys, we're like here all the time. Or you like starting to get stressed out, like, I'm really not liking Monday, where there is no Sherpa painting.
We must trap them on an island so that they can paint all the time. I think it's awesome. I want to do it.
I know you do. But then he would sit there. He would actually walk out with Negolero into the woods. You know? I
would backpack out my equipment.
You know, there's some really good paintings cousin to this right now, too, on Clive's channel. Not Aurora, but some neat stuff. So once you do this, there's more to do, is all I'm saying. On Monday and Wednesday when we're not here. Don't feel like there's nothing. There's other stuff. I've seen some really good watercolors, but I can't remember the name of the YouTube channel off the top of my head. It which is kind of a bummer. I try to pay attention to see what's out there. That way, especially if I don't have something but you need something, and go, I don't have it, but so-and-so has it.
Yeah.
So you're covered. And I'm just going to make sure that I have a nice even coverage of black everywhere, that the paint is covered, because that'll be part of the effect of this looking nice.
Now, let me ask
Down
you.
here in what's supposed to be solid, you're going to freak out because we just finished the painting, John.
Oh my gosh! Well, do you do the edge in the bottom there? Do you paint around the bottom of this kind of canvas, or is this a?
Oh, you can totally paint. Okay, so this isn't really okay. They'll say it's a gallery wrap canvas, and because the definition is that the canvas is wrapped around it and stapled on the back, so you can then paint it.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
but really, if you're talking about doing one of the canvases that doesn't require framing, you need a thicker stretcher bar, like about a 2-inch stretcher bar, 1-inch stretcher bar, so that the canvas has structure and shape. But that's like if you're showing. But if it's in your house and you're like, I really do not want to go to Hobby Lobby and get the 50% off frame for whatever reason, right? Like you just don't want to, paint around the edge.
And
there's no real rules in art. There's recommendations.
And we have Autumn was saying that it's now snowing where she's at.
Autumn!
So I think that's awesome that it's snowing there.
Let's see if we can.
Oh yeah. Wow, I like how that the way that you've painted in the Aurora, it really does look luminescent.
It does, doesn't it?
It really does.
That's what that aqua is for. Because this is such a blue with the red, and then this has the bright green in it, and reds and greens are contrast. This is color theory. It's when you're like, I just need a little color theory to make this thing work. Oh my gosh, I'm really happy with this. Now, I personally am going to varnish this. And here's I have to make a note on varnishing, because you guys might varnish. If you're painting student paint and you're doing a brush on varnish, your black might smear.
Ooh.
So do spray.
Spray varnish.
Yeah.
Spray
If you're
varnish.
painting student paints or craft paints or any paints where you're not sure that black is staying put, spray varnish. If you don't want any brush strokes and you're not an experienced varnisher, spray varnish. I don't spray varnish because I do, but John has to do it for me because I'm really, really sensitive to the chemicals in the spray varnish.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you're not,
yeah, but take it outside, grab a can of spray varnish, throw it down on there because,
the gloss will deepen these colors. I'm going to hit it with a high gloss varnish, and that's going to make my space pop and my black seem very black. It's going to unify the shininess of my paint.
And do you have a brand you prefer?
I like Liquitex.
Okay.
Because I just trust them and I know them. I have a varnish video, and it is, I explain things about don't do it too thick because you'll get brush strokes, but people will still get the plaid, and I still haven't figured out how to get the plaid. I'm not even sure you can get the plaid out. So you have to varnish, but varnish is one of those things where it's like, I gotta do it. But varnish comes in matte, which is flat, semi-gloss, and gloss. It comes in brush on, right, and spray.
Wow.
So
now New Year's
and
Eve.
my mom has a good varnish video too.
Yeah. Now New Year's Eve, we're gonna do a dragon.
Yep.
And how long do we expect that to be?
It's a dragon's long time. Scales.
Yeah.
Scales.
So we're gonna be broadcasting for a while. We're we gonna start that earlier in the day, or
we're
later?
gonna start that earlier in the day. I'll try to get that posted up. I gotta do a design for it. I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna do Smaug.
Yeah.
Or like a dragon we know from a story we know, or a new dragon. I haven't found my dragon in there. And so I'm going to find my dragon. I think I'm going to have my dragon probably in flight or perched. Right? Something like that. And I just need to decide what kind of dragon.
So it could be an angry dragon or a happy dragon. It could be flying or perched. It might be red or green, and we may or may not glitter it.
You have summed up New Year's Eve.
Cool. So we might start in the morning, but it'll probably be in the afternoon.
Yep.
Cool. So there you guys go.
Woo! On John's birthday.
and we'll be doing that on my birthday. So,
and I think I might do a bigger. Okay, so if we're gonna be here for a while and it's just for our community, we want to do a bigger canvas.
Well, yeah, and Kim Sim was saying that Craft Shack is also doing a live with CC at 9 p.m.
Hey, Craft Shack, that is awesome. So definitely be sure and do that.
Yeah. So you're just saying that they're also doing that too.
That is awesome.
Well,
I think it's very good for us to be on, if we can be on.
Yeah.
On New Year's Eve. It's better than us being out driving. So definitely check out Craft Shack. Can you spell that? Because I think there's a couple that have a similar name and there's a spelling difference.
Yeah. So she'll put that up there in the comments there for us. So yeah, we'll have a lot of stuff going on New Year's Eve.
Do you want me to? Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna varnish this.
Yeah.
And it will make it all shiny and the colors all deep, but then it won't photograph very well.
But we'll figure that out.
Actually, there's some varnish right there, and I could put it on the smaller one, and they could see it.
You could just do that.
Oh, I don't know. We're good.
I think we're okay for today.
We're going to do this in our book.
Yeah.
We're going to cover all this stuff in our book. You guys, you have a happy holiday. Be safe. Be warm. Be okay. Love yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. Take a deep breath and don't let the crazy get to you because the stars don't care. And if you're just like feeling really lost, just look up and realize that for billions of years, it's all been fine.
All good.
All good.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. See you at the easel really soon.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.